Hi Scorpio, welcome to your Leo season reading. I'm going to do the reading so you can see my hands and you can see the cards as they fall. And it's not because I don't want to talk to you, but you are not feeling your best. And when you're not feeling your best, you have a tendency to get very annoyed. You have a tendency to blow up at people because it's hard for you to express what you're feeling. It's also a time where some secrets may be coming out, or you may be admitting to things that you have held on to that have held you back in your love life, grudges perhaps, or certain modes of behavior that you know are not conducive to a relationship, and yet you haven't really ever owned up to it until now. So it's a bit tricky. It's like walking through a minefield, the stuff we need to talk about. And I think it would be comforting for you to be able to see the cards as they fall, so you can really see, how genuine the criticism is. It's not just me saying it, but astrologically it's accurate, but I just think it would be beneficial. So why don't we try? I love you lots. This is not going to become a trend. I'm just doing it because I think you need it. Let's do it. Hi. All right. So I hope even that first part wasn't too irritating. You guys are just on a very short fuse, and I get it. I think that you expect perfection from yourself, and when you find yourself in any way lacking, or if the situation you find yourself in is in any way lacking, because that's a reflection on you, then you have a tendency to get really low on yourself. And when you do, it's very difficult to be around, because you don't know yourself, how sharp you're being, and it seems like anyone can get stung. But really, it's only because you've been walking around stinging yourself. Knight of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, and the Lovers. If there is something from the past, especially an unresolved situation that had to do with like great love, like you really, really loved this person, for some reason you find yourself thinking about it, and it's confusing. Because why? Like, it's been so long, there's nothing, why would you want to start that back up? Why is this person trying to get in touch with me? Why am I trying to get in touch with this person? This doesn't make any sense. It's because there's something here, the kernel of what's bothering you underneath the bad mood and everything. It has to do, it's a karma thing. I think there's some part of you that's fully aware that you may not have been fair to yourself when it comes to relationships for a while, that you've been too one-sided. Like, either you've been cold or you've been way too hot. Like, thinking too much with the mind or thinking too much with the brain. And the only way to even this stuff out is to go back to this past situation and figure out why it still keeps coming up. What is that kernel stuck there, right? Somewhere in your teeth, like you just can't get it out, and you really need to get it out. And it's driving you nuts because you just want to know. But I think the reason it's so hard for you to break through the confusion is because then you have to confront some pretty serious truths about yourself. Have you been the one sabotaging your own relationships? And if so, why? There's a lot of healing that wants to happen. But it starts with this, realization, like, if so, why? Why have you been doing that? Once you figure out the methods you've been using, then it becomes a question of why. Okay, that's how you did it, but you didn't need to. Page of Wands, Seven of Wands, Four of Pentacles, the World, and the Hermit. And the bottom of the deck, the Ten of Swords. You will figure it out. You'll figure out the why. It will make you feel like you've really accomplished a lot. You've won. Once you realize what the thing is, there's a couple of things you should do. Stop being mean to people. Stop snapping at people. And let the thing go. Scorpio is the sign that would figure out what's been holding them back forever and still hold on to it. Let the thing go. Your healing and your abundance would really like to multiply. But that healing and abundance, the only reason you don't have it already is because, and this is something deep, something that's been lurking back there in your back brain for quite some time. And it affects the way you move, it affects the way you talk, it affects your relationship with your friends, it affects everything. So it's important now to finally get at it and fix it. And Leo season and August in general gives you so much space and freedom to do it. But you have to also allow yourself to do it, right? Virgo season, you may feel like you're making a lot of headway once you figure this thing out in Leo season, and then Virgo season comes and you've got to heal from it now that you figured it out, and you've got to actually let the thing go, and then it hurts all over again. Deep transformation, deep healing, starts with these painful epiphanies that make us realize that perhaps any obstacles we've faced, especially in terms of love, have been our own doing. And that's particularly hard for you because you do feel like you put in everything. So is it about an ex coming back? Perhaps. The point is, it's the lesson needed from that thing that's bringing it into your mind and that's bringing that energy back into your life, whether it's in your mind or whether it's an ex reaching out to you or whether it's you reaching out to an ex. But it's the mind going back to something that it knows the secret is there. It knows that if it can crack this thing, then it will understand what has happened since then, right? Your brain is looking for a way to understand why your love life has been the way it has and why you feel bad. And once it does, and Virgo season comes and the healing happens, and then you're ready. Then you can move along. Pick some new stuff. Perhaps have a new relationship. It'll change you, August. And I think it's only fair while you're changing to let people be. Because no matter how much it may seem in the moment like it's their fault, it's not. They're really not doing much. You just have a hair trigger. Okay? We'll still turn the camera around and look at the cards again. I'll be right back. Love you. Hi, Scorpio. Welcome to the second part of your reading. Well, because you got to see the cards fall in the first part, I think we don't have to make this part as long. I like reading this way. I haven't done it since I first started the channel, and I'm thinking maybe I should go back to it, because especially when people are going through a hard time, I think it's just easier and more helpful to be able to see them. So I'll think about it. You guys let me know as well what you think. Knight of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, and the Lovers. The Knight of Pentacles is often called, amongst the Rev Fam, the fuckboy card. It's someone that finds it very hard to commit, someone that comes in and out of your life, seems to express an interest, especially when it comes to the virtual world, but can't seem to get it together. Extremely slow moving to the point where you feel like you are being played. That, coupled with the Ace of Cups and the Lovers, is a very confusing mix, which you see here in the Seven of Cups. This is something from your past. Could very well be an earth sign that really, really hurt you. Could be a Gemini that really hurt you. And then the Libra. Alhamdulillah, bless you. Sorry, that was my kid sneezing. It could be a Libra or a Sag or a Virgo. You're looking back over your life and you're thinking about what it is. What's that thing that you know yourself has held you back, needs to be healed, needs to be addressed some way? It comes to completion. Some way you figure it out. Is it easy? No. Are you going to be easy to deal with in the process? No. But I don't want the first part of the reading to make you feel like people have to deal with you. I'm just going to be very honest with you. People don't have to deal with you. They choose to deal with you. Everyone knows how you are. Everyone understands the reputation you have and why you have it. Everyone knows what your temper is like and what motivates you. When you're not feeling good, it's especially about having reached certain goals, reached certain milestones, whatever it is, you can get very down on yourself. When you get down on yourself, like I said in the first part, you can be very mean, cruel even. Okay? So why then do people continue to deal with you? It's a good question to ask, because a lot of times the way we criticize Scorpios makes them feel like we're doing them a favor by sticking around. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The reason people choose to deal with you is because they want to and they need to. If you have a Gemini or Libra family member that's very much going through it, that's coming up as something that you may have to moderate, something that calls you into their life and asks you to make some decisions for them. Either you are the grown-up or you have to play the grown-up. So that's one thing that people look to you for, always, advice. 2, this internal exploration that you are forced to go on in August, this is usually something that you do for other people. People look to you to help them decode what's going on in their head when they can't make sense of it. That's why you make such good parents, therapists, clergy, because you have the ability to inspire trust and your word counts for something. Oftentimes when we need advice, it's not even just what the person is saying, it's how we view them. So for example, I think I've told you this before, but my father has always told me, do not take advice from anyone that you wouldn't switch places with. If at a moment's notice you couldn't switch from your life to their life, their advice is void, because their advice is going to take you where they are in life. Their advice is based on their thinking, and their thinking has got them where they are. If you like where it's gotten them, take their advice. If you don't take it. That probably narrows down how many people you should be taking advice from to like 1 or 2, right? So you're often the person that people look to gain insight into themselves, and now you have to do it for yourself. Is that easy? No. Is that going to make for some strange communication? Yes. Will you be on this roller coaster of I feel great, I feel terrible, I feel great, I feel terrible? Absolutely, until you let go. See, the point of figuring out what's been keeping you back in terms of love, especially in terms of connecting, it's not meant to be shown to you just so you can look at it and say, okay, I suggest you watch the Taurus video for July because I had this same talk with them and they are across from you, we're on the same axis. It's not enough for a Taurian or a Scorpio to know something. You can know what the right thing is and still not do it. You can know exactly how something is holding you back and still not let it go. But the choice is very clear. Communicate, let it go. Victory, don't communicate, don't let it go. Sadness and pain. As we walk into August, you really don't know which one you want. You really don't know. But the Three of Pentacles is not a bad life. And if you've been wondering why you can't have that life, or why you haven't been able to sustain that life, or where did that road bend too much when you were heading in this direction, August shows you where, why, and what you can do to change it. So I'm switching up the extendeds. I just did the Libra extended in the new way and I loved it. So we're going back to going card by card and clarifying by shuffling the deck and seeing what comes out. And then when we get through clarifying, the reading is done. The Libra reading, the Libra extended was about 20 minutes. This I am thinking will be a little bit more considering there's more cards here. And in the extended, we will go further into if you're dealing with a Gemini, a Libra, a Sag, we'll do all that particular stuff there. If you would like a personal reading or a one-on-one live session, there are Cameo links for both of those below. You can have a 5 to 7 minute recorded reading sent to you, or you can do a 10-minute one-on-one over Zoom. There's also a Chatelize link below, which is for 15-minute one-on-one sessions online, of course. And the links for the Instant and the Vimeo Extended, which are the same reading, just different methods of delivery, are both below. If you've been wondering about the rings, these are the offerings of a company I started with my best friend, Quietest Revolution Rings. This is the High Priestess made of African amethyst. It is available now at the link below, and there is a green version which is also available called the Empress at the link below. This is our newest offering, which will be available for pre-order in Virgo season, called the World. And that link is below too. If you're interested in taking a look at your at what the day looks like, or the astrological chart for each day, at the Quietest Revolution on Instagram, we do a daily look, a daily chart by sign. So if you're interested in a daily horoscope, there is also that. If you look below the video, you will see a rolling merchandise banner. There are face masks available that say Revolution across the front. I think you will like them. Check that out as well if you are so inclined. I love you. I'll see you in the extended right now.